Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the live league match that's coming to you from Mangere East home ground, the home of the Hawks. My name's Troy Hardy. I'm with the Auckland Rugby League and looking forward to seeing a massive game down here today. Joining me in the commentary box is the head coach Matt Pilmer. And Matt, mate, what's it like? Matt's back. What's it like being back at the Hawks?
It's been good. I certainly started to miss it halfway through the season. And it was just good to get back into the footy. I didn't realise, actually know a lot of the boys when I came back. A lot of our team from last year had moved on, so for me, coming back into the team was just trying to reintroduce myself to a lot of the players from this year. But I've enjoyed it. So far, so good.
Mate, in regards to the to the group of young men that you've got playing for the Hawks, how did they respond, with the coach change and Matt coming back into the side, taking over head coach?
They've welcomed me into the fold. They're a good bunch of kids. They're only 18, 19. I've got a couple of older heads there, but they've been just as excited as I have to a bit of a change of scene, a bit of a change of game plan going out there, and I definitely feel like I've been welcomed. And like I said, it was just me trying to adapt to all these younger players and new players out there. But no, so far it's been really good.
Awesome, mate. And look, last week I know it was a tough day in the office for the Hawks, but the score's not always indicative to the actual game. Up against Point Chevalier, that was 56 points to 18. Tell us a bit about that game, because, by all accounts, you were kind of in it there in the grind.
I honestly thought we started very well against Point Chev. We, they got a couple of lucky tries on us from a couple of lucky kicks that rebounded, and they ran 100 metres and scored. But it was a positive start for us. We went missing a bit in the second part of the second half, and they rattled on a few points on us. They're a team that scores 2 or 3 tries and bunches on you if you don't knuckle down in defence, and that's what they did. But we had a good talk at half time, and we had an even younger team. I had a lot of boys injured and in that game, so we gave a few boys their chance to start in top side, and no better team to start against than Point Chev. And the second half we turned it around. There was 18 all second half, 4 tries on on the top teams going around, and they were 4 good team tries. And that's just one thing that we've just been trying to focus on, is that when we do compete with these better teams, that we control the ball and hold the ball, and that's how we won those other 2 games too. So,
what was the key learning that you took out of that game, mate? Because I know, look, Mangere East on the draw, we alluded to earlier before going live, a couple of good wins coming off the back of those, and now we're into top teams, 5 weeks back to back to back. What was the key learning out of that, coming into what you have to try and achieve over these next few weeks?
Well, the one main thing that we found out is holding onto the ball and not losing it in the wrong part of the field. Against these good teams, they'll punish you, and that's what's been happening lately. Against those teams that were around the same place as us, I mean, they're very similar players and styles, and they weren't punishing our mistakes as what these teams do. So it's just about us completing our sets and making sure when we do lose the ball that it's not in our own half, and it's we can defend. But, yep.
Mate, also today's not going to get any easier up against the mighty Mount Albert Lions. So we've got 9 playing 4. What's the strategy in coming in against the Lions today, and how are we going to attack them?
Well, for us, and it was against Howick as well. We were there the first half, and the same with Point Chev. We played in that second half in 18 all. So we know we can compete with these top teams, and the same thing would be with Mount Albert today. We've more focused on our own game and getting ourselves and getting our structures and getting our completions. For those games that we did win and did compete with those top teams, our completion rates were really high, and our mistakes were at a low. So that's, if we can concentrate on that today for our team and get an 80-minute game out of our boys rather than 40 minutes, then we'll go a long way to winning.
And in regards to your playing personnel, this time of the year, we have a lot of sickness, injuries and what have you. Tell us a bit about your squad, and do you have the playing group that you're looking forward to do the damage today?
I think so. I've actually picked a team with a lot more box experience. We've had a few boys since those 2 wins get injured, but we're finding they're actually coming back into the fold now in the next couple of weeks. And I've had a couple of boys come back from Australia and who were in our team last year that some of the viewers may recognise. So they've added a bit more experience to that team as well. So we're hoping, we have a plan, and we're really trying to get through these next 5 games that we've got uninjured, and we're really focusing ourselves to come Richmond, Te Atatu, Marist, Northcote, that we have our team that we want out there to help us stay in the Fox this year.
Awesome. Look, and just on, you know, you've mentioned a few of the teams that are playing in the SAS Fox Memorial, and that's my final question for you, Matt, and that is, what is the must-win game that the Hawks are focusing on to avoid relegation?
Oh, well, obviously there's Te Atatu, being that they're only 1 point behind us, but we're actually focusing more on that Richmond game we got first before them. And if we can go out there and do it and take the victory in that first game against Richmond, then it'll take the pressure off going into the Te Atatu and get us 3 points ahead of them. So, but you know, in saying that today, the boys definitely played really well against Mount Albert in round 1. So we're also rating our chances today to try and get 2 points off them. But for us, it'll be Richmond and Te Atatu.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Matt, for joining us. We're going to be crossing shortly to Corey Rosser, who's joining us for the live stream here at the SAS Fox. Big shout out to the Tiara, her crew down there. Much love to Lorraine and all the people in the local pub down there. And Lorraine's putting on a free shout for jugs for everyone down there, courtesy of Corey. He's going to be subsidising that, so just go up and tell young Lorraine that you love Corey, and there'll be a free beer for everyone. So we're going to hand over to Corey now. He's going to talk to the head coach from the Mount Albert Lions. Don't go away. And don't forget, if you've just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, we are live streaming tomorrow at the Cornwall Park for the Women in League live round. And there's going to be a lot more live action coming to you, courtesy of the Auckland Rugby League via our CTAS live stream partners. Over to Corey.
Thanks, Troy, and we are joined by one of the co-coaches from the Mount Albert Lions, Cody Walker. Cody, I guess the first one to look at, last week's result, a hard-earned 18-all draw against Papakura. Tell us a bit about how it all went down and I guess what you liked from that one.
Yeah, I think you know, we were good for probably about a good 60 minutes of the game, and then we kind of gave them a sniff. And credit to Papakura, you know, you got to remember that they're defending champions, and you give them a sniff that big, they're going to kind of hurt you, which they did in the back end of the game.
The reaction, obviously, from yourself and Phil, mate, were you able to kind of take some positives out of that? Obviously, the fixes, the little clock-off periods, is that the kind of one to look at this week?
Yeah, I think we focused on us this week. We looked at how we could be better. We also looked at, you know, things that we went away from that were working. But I think, you know, it's more of an attitude thing. And when you clock off at certain periods of the game, you know, teams like Papakura are going to hurt you. So hopefully we don't do it today.
It's obviously a team near the top of the table versus one near the bottom today, but Mangere East have probably shown this year that they can really get up for these ones. They've had a couple of good wins. What are you expecting from them?
Oh, look, they're going to be tough, mate. I mean, any team, regardless of where they are, they're going to put their best effort out there. And probably for the teams that are kind of around that relegation area, any little sniff and any little win that they can get is going to be, you know, boost them and try and get them off their bottom. But you know, they're a good quality team at home, so you know, I'm expecting them to kind of push the envelope.
A couple of standouts for you guys recently. We hear Joseph Price still playing some really good footy. Also, Corey Cedar playing some great stuff. Who are you kind of looking for to stand up and have a big one today?
Yeah, probably. I don't have any individuals. I think collectively we need to be good, and we've got to go back to our process and simplifying things and having an all-round performance more than individuals having good performances. And we've got to work on that. You know, kind of. We're looking at one game a week, so if we get a full 17 that's playing to their best, then we should be a lot better than what we were last week.
Plenty of rain in Auckland this week, but nice and dry today, and the sun's out. It should be a good day for some open footy.
Yeah, well, you know, look, we've got a game plan, and we're going to stick to it. And you know, we've been focusing on how we can be better as a group. And look, if it means we stay up the middle, then so be it. You know, we've just got things that we need to tick off before we start having a look at some footy.
Thanks for joining us, Cody. That's all, and all the best for today.
Cool, thanks, Corey.
Thanks. We're now going to cut back to Troy, who's going to have a quick chat to the General Manager of the Mangere East Hawks and hear what's going on at the club. And we did mention there has obviously been a little bit of rain here this week, and the field is a little wet, but the sun out, nice and dry. No real wind around, so certainly a day that's conducive to attractive football, good open football, so looking forward to seeing that. Of course, we know both of these teams do have some real attack in them, so looking forward to seeing that in the next about 20 minutes when we kick off here at Walter Massey Park. Over to you, Troy.
Thanks, Corey, and always great to be with you, young man. Joining me in the ARL studios out here live at the Hawks home ground is the general manager, who's also been the chairman, who's also been on a committee, who's also been many roles at the mighty Mangere East Hawks, is Tash. So Tash, look, before we start, let's have a chat around the club. The grounds are looking fantastic. I know there's been a wee bit of work going on in the club this year, and you've been working on it for some time now. What's the news?
Okay, yeah, it's been a sort of pre-busy year for us. We're looking at doing a building renovation here over the next 9 months, and happy to start that in September this year. Yeah.
And what's going on in the building? What's some of the good stuff?
You know, like most sport clubs, we seem to sort of let our buildings sort of wear down to a point where we find ourselves struggling to have a functional club rooms and bathroom facilities and all of that. So yeah, I'm really pleased to say that we're upgrading all of our bathroom facilities, creating a brand new restaurant cafe here.
Wow.
Beautiful balcony and a garden area downstairs. So yeah, state-of-the-art stuff coming this way.
Awesome, and some of that rebuild too. I'd have to say the website's looking fantastic. Tell me about the Mangere East Hawks website if you haven't been to that.
Yeah, well, absolutely fantastic, very functional and very vibrant with the graphics that we've now got. Such an easy website to maintain and certainly update. So with a couple of staff that we've got on board at the moment, they're really enjoying the new website, and our members love the graphics. Yeah.
Awesome. Look, and Mangere East, let's talk a wee bit around rugby league here. You've got a lot of juniors that play here, so just in regards to junior football here and and what's happening in that space, tell us a bit about the younger Hawks.
Yeah, like every year, it's always a challenge for us. We get inundated with registrations. We always seem to fall short of coaches and managers to take those teams. But we're always happy to see that parents do put their hands up, they step up, and they coach and they manage those teams. Our numbers this year are up again.
Wow. Yeah.
Certainly it's always a big task for us, a major, to try and administer the teams as per club policy, our district policy, to ensure that we've got a smooth flowing regime in every grade. It's worked well. We've had no problems this far. Certainly that's probably due to the amount of work that goes in pre-season every year to tweak those final lines to make sure that every team has a good experience right down to the players and the parents.
Cool. And look, and if you are living in the Mangere East area and you're looking for a club to come and play for, go to their website or get in contact with the Mangere East Hawks on their Facebook page and come down and join them. They've got many age groups, through from mini mods right through to your international juniors, and if you're looking for a club to come and play for, come down and see the guys at the Mangere East Hawks. Now, in regards to the senior executive and yourself, let's talk a wee bit around how the top side's going. Are you happy with where they are on the SAS Fox at the moment?
No. It certainly is a struggle at the moment, and to actually be in our position. We're certainly fighting that relegation at the moment. We've got a couple of good games up against us today. The next few weeks,
yeah.
and today will be one of them as well. But yeah, certainly it's difficult to be Mangere East at the moment and be faced with relegation.
I think too, there was a little bit of change for you with personnel during the first part of the season. We've just caught up with Matt, your head coach, being back. How's that worked out for you and the club in regards to what he's been able to achieve whilst he's been here?
Yeah, well, yes, we did have changes throughout the season. Proved maybe difficult for us in the beginning. Certainly coming into a changeover of hands with our coaches. It's been fantastic having Matt on board, to be quite honest. We've been able to get a couple of wins underneath his belt, and certainly that's a big step and a big step up for morale in the team and players all over. So, yeah.
And also know that one of the legends of our game, an absolute god of Mangere East Hawks, Olsen Filipina. So Big Ollie's been back at the Hawks, and what's he been doing?
Absolutely. This is Olsen's heart and home. And having him come back and do a couple of visits down here and talk to our members, watch the junior footy, speak with our premiers inside that changing room has left a massive impression. Firstly, Olsen's name here is a legend, and having some of our younger members not know who Olsen was, but then getting the story, and then hearing about his legacy here at the Hawks and his time in rugby league in New Zealand as a whole has left a massive impression, a massive footprint for our junior players to aspire to.
Yeah, aspirational, eh? So,
absolutely.
Big love to Olsen Filipina and the family out there, and on behalf of not just the Mangere East Hawks but also Auckland Rugby League, just fabulous to have him, to have his time to be able to come down and share it with family and friends. Finally, just want to touch on supporters, volunteers. I know volunteers are very important to run a club of this size, and also sponsors. So in regards to sponsors, just wanted to have a chat about how important they are to you and to the club.
Yeah, sponsorship firstly is something really hard to gain, in any sport that you're in. But certainly having, corporate sponsors like Burger King New Zealand has helped us to keep the faith, the belief and the hard work that we put behind, these doors to make rugby league roll out. To have a sponsor such as them to value the work that we do here at Mangere East Rugby League Club is more important than words could speak. We show a lot of what we do with the sponsorship from both Burger King, T8 and the Chan family through the work that we deliver and the events that we host here. So, and they're always appreciative of how we work in the community. They hear a lot about what we do out here, and they probably give us more praise than what I do when I report to them. So, yeah.
In regards to, you've mentioned Burger King, we're at Burger King Stadium, and I suppose it's going to be a whopper of a game, sorry folks, and we're going to be flame grilling some lions shortly. But in regards to the other supporters that you may have, is there a bit of a shout out to any other sponsors that you have? Oh
yeah, definitely. We've got a lot of sponsors with us here at the moment at the Hawks, but in particular, I'd just like to make a big shout out to Moira Chan, who every week comes in and brings a lot of meat packs in and sponsors our player of the days here, and that's huge. That goes far. The value with food and meat and veg and things like that go home with these players back to their families sees a sense of socialism there for their families as well. So yeah. And volunteers, just to sort of touch on them, we can hear one of your volunteers in the background here. She's been pretty relentless this morning. Val beat me here, and this is probably the strength of most clubs in regards to how important volunteers are. Is there a shout out to one of the Hawks volunteers or someone you just want to generally thank? Oh, certainly. Hey, look, we've got a tight admin team here. Valerie, our secretary, being number one for us at the moment. And with her is Paulie, our club captain. Yep. Two, Wayne Boys, our committee member here, and also a manager on one of our international teams. And straight down to my juniors. They are the backbone of this club right now. I've been away on leave for 2 weeks, sick leave. They've been in. You probably need that leave after 5 years of non-stop. I'll take another 2 weeks of stress leave after this. So, but yeah, I'd like to shout out to. They're my soldiers, eh? I don't like to call them volunteers. They do more work than you know. To run a club of this size is not just run by one person. I've got a team of 10 people, but in particular to those people that I've just mentioned, I'd like to say thank you to them and thank you for soldiering on with Tash. Awesome. Well, look, thanks very much for joining us today, Tash. I know you're really busy and you've got a lot of stuff to execute today, and you'll be hosting later on this afternoon. In regards to coming up to the club, what's happening this evening? What's the activity? Yeah, well, straight after our game, we'll do our normal host with Mount Albert and prepare a meal and enjoy a few drinks, beverages, and a meal with Mount Albert. Yep. Following that, we'll head straight into our senior prize giving and hear from other teams and grades in the seniors, and hopefully they all come back with the win. With the W. Yeah. Cool.
All right, well, look, on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, congratulations on all the work and effort that's going on down here. It's always a pleasure to come to the Hawks. It's always grouse to see you as well. And what we're going to do now is we're going to bring Corey Rosser back into the commentary as we get ready for the League Live action game of the day, as the Hawks get ready now to go up against the Mount Albert Lions. Thanks, Tash.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you've just joined us, we're live streaming courtesy of CTAS down here, a production team that's coming up the live stream. As you can see now, we're out having a look at the field, and the field's in great shape. It's in really good form, and Corey's just joining me now sideline, and always good to be with my mate Corey, and much love to you. And I understand Mum's now putting a shout out around the local bar and bistro down there in Te Araha, and she's probably scratching my name into her into her
right,
hit list.
You might have run the place broke, Troy, but yeah, definitely a big shout out to everyone watching in Te Araha today, and of course all around the world. So we do know we have viewers tuning in from everywhere. Of course, expats who are now living overseas. We get a lot of viewers from England and Australia as well. So a big shout out to everyone who is joining us, and it is a nice day for footy down here, Troy. We mentioned the field when we arrived today. The first thing that stood out to me was how well the field's held up. There has been a lot of rain here in recent, well, particularly this week.
Yep.
But the field's in great nick. They've kept the people off the field as much as they can. So it's actually pretty good conditions for open footy, I would think.
In regards to today's footy too, we've got number 9 playing number 4, so 9 being Mangere East Hawks. They've been fighting to stay off the bottom of the ladder, as you know, and have had a wee bit of change during the course of the season with head coaches, you know, swapping. I think Matt's been doing a fine job as he's coming in and picked up the team to move forward. And then, of course, Mount Albert. So Mount Albert is still staying in the top 4. They've had a couple of losses, you know, against teams that they sometimes in previous years may have, you know, won those matches. And catching up with Cody today, you know, any insights there and what they're looking to try and achieve?
Well, I think one thing was, you know, they certainly weren't particularly happy with the performance last week, so definitely something to work on. They had an 18-all draw with Papakura last week, and really it was just a late clock-off really that allowed Papakura back into that game, but certainly not the end of the world for them to get a point out of that game. Certainly keeps them in that top 4 and pretty comfortable. I think there's now 4 or 5 points between themselves and Papakura Sea Eagles. So interesting to see the response today from Mount Albert. They're right in the thick of that battle right now, and it's a pretty close competition up the top. We've seen, you know, obviously we've seen Northcote knock over a couple of those top 4 sides as well. So certainly going to be a big one. But Mangere East, their resilience after what was a horror opening round really, where I think they lost probably their first 7 or 8 games, to come back, pick up a couple of wins under testing circumstances as well. Talking to Matt, he was saying, you know, in one of those games, I think they played with 12 for the whole second half. They had a couple of sin binnings as well. So to do what they've done so far is really admirable, and they've now kind of put themselves, I guess, in control of avoiding relegation. So every game is important for them now. They're right next to Te Atatū at that bottom of the table. So every game important for those teams right now. And for Mount Albert, well, it's just about making sure they stay in that top 4 race and potentially jostling for you know, a second chance come finals time.
Awesome, mate. And you may have heard, ladies and gentlemen, in the background there is the warning sirens just gone off, so we're not long or not far off for kickoff. As we've mentioned 4 of the top teams there, there's one that we didn't. And I want to touch on that just in a few minutes, right? So we've talked about Point Chevalier, we've talked about the Sea Eagles, we've talked about Howick, and Howick are looking really promising this year. Glenora Bears.
Yeah, well, they're playing some great footy and some excellent results. I think still holding the Konaka Rooster as well, and I think that may go on the line again today. We'll have to have a quick look at the draw to confirm that one. But some really good things happening out at Glenora with Bernie Perenara in charge, and they've got some big names out there now. Of course, Epulahami Luaki, who represented the Kiwis, and Matima Tonga, played a long career with the Warriors and also Hull FC over in the UK. And then they've got guys like Swape Kavaliku, of course, just classy players, Jordan Toure as well. So plenty of talent out there, and it's good to see, you know, in previous seasons, Troy, we've perhaps seen a bit of a gap between the top 2 teams in the Fox and the rest. Not the case this year. You know, any of those kind of top 5 teams are right in the mix there. And then even then, the gap next to, back to the next group is not that big. You know, we've seen the likes of Richmond put in some really competitive performances against top teams. Northcote's knocked over both Papakura and Glenora. And we know that teams like Mangere East have got it in them as well. So, yeah, it's very interesting. We've got battles at the top and bottom of the table right now,
Absolutely,
I guess, and plenty of excitement and this one's going to be another big one for them. And of course, Te Atatu, I dare say, will be watching this one as well. Starting to get pretty kind of, I guess, desperate for them now in terms of getting a result there to try and get out of danger.
Correct, yep. And as you can hear the background commentary there, we've got 5 minutes to go as the teams are starting to head out now onto the field. They'll start getting ready for warm-ups, and team chats have all taken place as the coaches are getting ready. Now I'm going to just throw to Corey as we catch up on a couple of stats from other games.
Yeah, and first of all, we will just run you through the results from last week in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. And of course, the game that we live streamed was Northcote against Te Atatu. Northcote coming away with a 22-18 victory in that one. It was a courageous effort from the Tigers. They played 20 minutes of the second half with only 12 men. They had a double sin binning, as one guy kind of went to re-enter the field, another was sin binned. So that was a really good result for the Tigers, and that kind of pretty much gets them completely out of the danger zone. Mount Albert and Papakura had a draw, which we've already pointed to, and Marist got up for a 24-16 victory over Richmond. Howick went down 10 points to 20 to Glenora, who are really on fire and going really well this year. And Point Chev, well, they beat today's home side, the Mangere East Hawks, 56-18. So we'll quickly look at the other results that are going on today in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. So Richmond are hosting Howick out at Greyland Park. Glenora are taking on Papakura. Te Atatu play Marist. Point Chev play Northcote. And of course Mangere East hosting Mount Albert. So what that all means, we'll have a look at the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership ladder in a minute to let you know what all that means as we count down to kickoff here at Walter Massey Park. So here it is, our current ladder for the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, and at the top it's a familiar name, the Point Chevrolet Pirates, sitting on 22 points. They've put a little bit of distance between themselves and the Howick Hornets now, with Howick losing last week. Glenora right there as well on 18 points, followed by Mount Albert on 17. So that top four, anyone's race as it stands. Papakura, the defending champions, in a little bit of trouble, sitting 4 points out of the playoffs right now with 6 games to go. They're followed by Northcote, Marist, Richmond, Mangere East and Te Atatu at the bottom with 1 win and a draw. So that is how your ladder looks. We're now going to take you through the two teams who will take the field today. And we will start with the home side, the Burger King Mangere East Hawks. And starting at the back is going to be the number 1, Setu 2. On the wings, Sione Tuipulotu and Sioseta Whenua. The centres are Morgan Salisi and 4, Marlon Purcell. In the halves, Howard Brown and Parati Machu. And in the front row, Fiao Lavamai is the number 8, joined by Vili Tukia, and Natane Vai is the hooker. And a little change to the team on the screen. So Tiriari is going to start in the number 15. Junior 4 is the 12, and Jono Paquito is the 13. And on the bench, Falau Lavimai, Fabian Antonio, Reginald Samueli, and Dave Fa'atiti. And the visitors today, the Mount Albert Lions, currently sitting in 4th position on the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership ladder. At the backs, Cortez Taulu. On the wings, Jordan Tua and Mark Graham. The centres are Chaz Brown and Corey Sita. In the halves, experienced duo of Henry Dunn and Trent Wallace. The number 8 is Leo Pepe Piscini, and the 10 is Kationa Piscini. The number 14, a change from our usual look for Mount Albert, with Isaac Miski to start. And in the back row is Jared Tua, Dion Snell, Joseph Price locks the scrum. And on the bench, 15, Marcus Fraser, he's also the captain. The 16, Tony Ulupau. 17, Rory Ropari, and the 18, Paulos Latu. So those are your two teams who will take the field today in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, round 13 of the competition out here at Walter Massey Park. And of course we are bringing you a whole bunch of games this weekend. Tomorrow we bring you the ARL Women in League round, a fantastic initiative which is going to see Women's Rugby League of all ages played out at Cornwall Park. We will be bringing you 3 games live streamed. We'll be bringing you the under-17s game between Richmond and Otara, followed by Point Chev versus Manukau in the pennant competition, and then the big one, clash between 2 of the best Women's Rugby League teams going around right now, in the Richmond Bulldogs up against the Mangere Marlins. So looking forward to that one, and we're welcoming back now Troy back into the commentary. Troy, and the Ladies' Day, one that we've been looking forward to for a little while now. Plenty of Kiwi Ferns talent on display, and it should be a great day.
Looking forward to that, Corey, and we're back together again tomorrow. as we call those 3 matches that you've just alluded to. And Richmond will really be trying to, you know, tip Mangere or Marlins over, the Wahinis. And Wahinis, I think, won't be looking for that to happen. They're a pretty class outfit, well structured, well drilled, well coached. And, you know, it'll be a W that I know that the Richmond girls will be looking for. As we get ready now, however, for the live league game for Mount Albert up against the mighty Hawks. We're getting ready for kickoff.
So Mount Albert are going to get us underway here, kicking down towards the club end of the ground. And away we go off the boot of Mark Graham. So Mangere East with first use of the ball today. And a big shout out to W.H. Weary, Bill Weary's sponsorship of this club. A long-time supporter, also the manager of the team. So a big shout out to Bill for his continued support of the Mount Albert Lions now as Mangere East work it up to halfway. And it was a pretty shallow kickoff, so some good yardage early on. Dion Snell there involved in the tackle. Machu brings R4 back in on the inside, and we've got an early penalty here, just creeping up inside the 10, the Mount Albert Lions. So a little bit of early pressure for the Lions, with Mangere East to kick for touch just on halfway.
Yeah, you just mentioned a couple of good support men there for the Mount Albert Lions, and all clubs have them. So Bill Weary, along with a lot of other Mount Albert support down there. Another one, Upright Access, my young Tongan friend, Mick. I know he's pretty strong around the support with the Mount Albert Lions as well. As all clubs have them, or you know, and they need them, especially you know at grassroots football. Anyway, back to the action as the Burger King of Mangere East Hawks are on attack here. Big prop forward trying to bend the line. They've come back to the left edge. Great tackle there by the...
Yeah, lovely tackle down low there.
Oh,
by
and we've
Leo
got
Pepper,
a
Pacini.
14th player on the field.
Here we go.
He's in the defence line.
Not quite a bulldog, but he's keen to get involved, and a little bit of concern from the boys there as the dog jumps into the face.
And the dog's been subbed off.
So he has been given his marching orders. So early drama here at Walter Massey Park. Pitch invader. Referee prepares to blow time back on.
And just stay with us in regards to our stop clock. Our clock will be indicative as we try to keep up with stoppage in play and dogs running on the field.
So a nice little kick dribbled in behind there from Setu too, but just a little bit too long. So good early signs there from the Burger King Mangere East Hawks. And a nice little finish to that set. So Mount Albert now to work it out. Mangere East couldn't have hoped for a better start. They were making good yardage already and then got the penalty. We're able to camp down that end of the field. So now they'll be looking to keep Mount Albert pinned down here. And of course a good start crucial against these big teams. Mangere East actually started really well last week, Troy, against Point Chevalier, but were kind of blown away. They let in a couple of soft tries, a couple of, I guess, unlucky tries, and then from there it kind of blew out. So they know well the importance of a good start here, and good to see plenty of energy from the Mangere East boys in these early exchanges.
And it's good to see a lot of energy coming out of the Hawks at the moment. There was a good vibe in the changing rooms before the game had started, and they're looking, you know, as the head coach alluded, there's been a bobble. Now the referee's going to blow that up.
Yeah, indeed, and there was appeals for a penalty there, but Joseph Price just bobbling that ball on his way down. He's not happy with it, but that's the way it goes. So we pack down a scrum now, so everything going Mangere East's way early, and they're making their own luck there with some good defence. We look at the big number 10 there, Troy. He's a big unit. We understand he's won Player of the Days, I think, in 3 consecutive weeks or something like that. Yep. So he's on fire as Big Took here. So interesting to see the impact he has today. Here's a little bit of footwork now on the outside from Marlon Purcell. Puts his winger into space, but good scramble defence from Mount Albert, denies it. So Whenua now to play the ball. Purcell to 2. Finds R4, who's met in a good first up tackle there from Pacini. So Mount Albert, plenty of energy and defence here now as V comes out of dummy half. Shows, goes, runs. Mount Albert get there in numbers. Machu at the bottom of the ruck, feeds it out now to Howard Brown. Howard Brown turns the centre back in on the inside. And Brown, a real stand-up performer for Mangere East through the first part of the season here as the ball comes through. But Mount Albert have crept up inside the 10 again, I think. Wait for the decision here, and in fact, I think it's going to go Mangere East. It's going to go Mount Albert's way. So Mount Albert survived that one. Mangere East there pinged. Not too sure exactly what that one was for, Troy. Perhaps an obstruction.
Yes, on the other side of the field, the kick to touch is conservative, to say the least. So they've gained a couple of metres there as Mount Albert start to set this up. It's been all Hawks so far. They've been in the right part of the town in regards to where they are in the park. Oh, and as soon as I say that, the pressure comes off a wee bit and they get another penalty, the Mount Albert Lions.
And the Hardy curse has arrived earlier than usual this week,
Yeah.
Troy.
Oh, not as much as the curse down there, Tiara in that bistro. We're probably into the second round now guys.
I'm sure Matt Pilmer will be really pleased that you chose to compliment his team there as they're coming out of yardage. But nonetheless, Mount Albert restart play on halfway now, so a really good chance for them to build a little bit of pressure. Watch for the influence of Mark Graham out on the wing, Troy. When we streamed their game earlier this year against Te Aratu, he was a real standout, particularly his combination with the likes of Joseph Price and Henry Dunn in the halves. So interesting to see how that one plays out. Price now turns Passini back on the inside. Nice little power spin out of the initial tackle.
Interesting to see Buzz out here in the centres on the right-hand side edge, but it doesn't look like they're going to need him.
And no, they are not. So over they go. We just await confirmation on the number of that one. I believe it may have been the number 11, Jared Tour, who's crashed over. But either way, it is a Mount Albert try to start this one. So the Lions lead 4-0 after 5 minutes. And Mangere East will be disappointed with that. They had all the running in the opening exchanges, and the first time they tested, they leak a pretty soft one down the edge. And will go down. So it is Jared Tour that has crashed over.
They'll be looking to turn that around pretty quick, smart, Corey. And just while we do that, one of the ball boys have run past. So to all the volunteers and you know, people that help with all the clubs, big thank you to you guys from the Auckland Rugby League as well as from the club members. Without the volunteers' support, a lot of what we do at grassroots football would not be possible. The live stream's brought to you today by CTAS, our live stream partners, courtesy of the Auckland Rugby League. And if you have just joined us, please share and like on the social media pages, as we can get more friends, more family, aunties, nanas, papas and dads involved in watching the football live here today as the kick is getting ready now. And there's a quiet silence around the park. Tension mounts, not a breath of wind. On the right side too.
Yes, Mark Graham is going to attempt the conversion.
And speaking of Mark Graham, what a legend he is. They were over in the 77 reunion only a couple of weeks back.
Kick's good, by the way, as you mentioned, legends. Mark Graham there with a kick from the sidelines. The younger Mark Graham, of course, Troy, and you allude to, I guess, the big dog, Mark Graham.
Player of the century, my friend. Player of the century. So it was great to catch up with all of them, and as we alluded to at the beginning of the live stream, Olsen Filipino was down here only a couple of weeks ago at the Mangere East Hawks, and great to have those guys back involved in the game. Mangere East get ready now to kick off after a try from Mount Albert Lions has been converted, and it's a grubber along the ground.
So back underway here. And it's the Russell Gordon Mount Albert Lions who have the use of the ball, and another sloppy penalty there from Mangere East. So they're shooting themselves in the foot right now.
Yeah, this will be given Matt Gray here. He probably won't be wanting to have this straight from a kick-off. And that kick's gone off. It's a slice. Not much in. In fact, I think it actually went backwards, to be fair.
We have seen a few of them in our time commentating, Troy. I remember a college rugby league game last year where it dead set went back about 10 metres.
Yeah, it did.
Loss of 10, one of the worst. And hello, we've got the dog back on the field as well. So it's all happening.
He's trying to get a bus ticket to Tiara. And he's off. Okay, somebody better hold on to him.
Oh, he's hanging out with the Mount Albert bench now. Everything's good. But hey, if you are watching and you recognise the dog, you may want to give your friend or family member a call and just let them know.
But he's on our live stream in the middle of the SAS Fox game, and we're here to play football, as are the two teams that are getting ready now. Clock back on.
His game involvement so far has been excellent too. The young fella as the jogs off down the side of the field now, and I dare say it probably won't be the last time we see the dog on the field. But alas, we get back to the rugby league, and Joseph Price there, Troy, as you allude to, a nice run up the middle. Come out now towards the right, and Dummies tucks back inside, takes a shot for his troubles. Tackled right on halfway there, and a tackle led by Machu.
Just keeping a lazy eye on Dion there. He seems to be seagulling over here on the right-hand edge. And I dare say if they pull the trigger on him, he's certainly going to open up this side if he gets the chance at full pace.
And boy, they've got some power on the edges, don't they, Troy? When you look at the size of Tua and Snell, two really powerful ball-running back rowers. Plenty of potential out there as we see
Good
a high
kick.
one now, which comes down at the back. Tu's juggled it. Ball has spilt loose, and they are going to rule. It's a knock-on off the hands of Corey Cedar. So a difficult one there at the back for Tu. The sun right in his eyes here at Walter Massey Park, but they survive it. Mangere East now to work it off 5 metres from their line.
Beautiful day here for Rugby League 2, folks. If you're in the area, come down and join us. The sun is out. The ground is perfect. Got great drainage down here, and it's going to feel. Oh, has he knocked that on? Yeah, the ball's come out on contact.
And Mangere East. It's the third time now that they have given up a penalty or an error, and coming out of yardage. That's a costly one. So disappointing there for the home side. And Mount Albert now about to put them under a whole lot more pressure. They're going to start this set 40 metres off the line. And Wallace to feed the scrum. They go left side, initially picking up Brown. Miskey into dummy half. Finds Price. Price dummies and then goes himself. Met head on by Tukia. Good tackle from the big number 10. So they're set heavy to the right here are the Mount Albert Lions. And then find Piscini, who takes another one forward. Gets the offload away. Miskey now on the ball. Miskey with some footwork. Ball's come loose. Play on is the call. Piscini now feeds it out to Dunn. Dunn finds Snell. Snell on a hard run, but the ball has come loose. And so Mangere East, some good aggressive defence there to force the error. And they survived that one.
They need to show some discipline now and contain the ball for the set of 6.
So Purcell now into dummy half. Comes to do a little bit of work. They have had to do a bit of defensive work early on in this one.
They made a bit of metres coming out of the Hawks end zone. Good defence chat there from the Lions. Great communication. That's not a bad kick, Corey.
No, nice one there, and down into the left-hand corner of Walter Massey Park. So Mangere East finding a little bit of their composure here. Russell Gordon Contractors, Mount Albert Lions. To feed the scrum, it's going to be about 10 metres off their own line.
Yeah, it was a great kick, mate. And what a beautiful day. Awesome. Like, seriously, folks, if you've got nothing on today and you want a bit of action, come down to the home of the Hawks and catch up with this game. You know, we're a few minutes in, and we've been up and down the field a couple of times. The Lions have gone in for an early try, and now we have the Mangere East Hawks trying to contain them down inside their territory.
When we look at the contrasting results of last week, Mount Albert ending with a hard-fought draw against the Papakura Sea Eagles. A game that, by all accounts, they probably should have won and been able to put away. So they come in off that one there, and certainly a lot of disappointment out of that one, as we see a shoulder charge there, I think, from Tukia. So again, Mangere East putting themselves under unnecessary pressure here.
Mount Albert look like the smaller side too, Corey. They look like they've got a bit of speed around the park. Pretty fit team. And Mangere East, by all accounts, have got the size today. The number 10 you alluded to earlier.
Yeah, Big Billy Tukia, he's been a standout the last few weeks. Unlucky actually not to make the Kiwi League Central Team of the Week. His teammate Howard Brown has made it on a couple of occasions in the last couple of weeks, but certainly Tukia turning plenty of heads down here and earning praise from the coaching staff and teammates in the process. As Miskey now feeds it out to Piscini, who has been really solid to start this game. Some good early carries from Lau Pepper.
Great run.
Nice run there. Price
Good
gets
offload.
the offload away, and Taulu, ball spills loose. Not sure if that was stripped or if play on is going to be the call, and it looks like we will have an error back there. But you saw there Joseph Price, he's been excellent all year. Hits the line hard. He's got plenty in him to promote second phase play. He's got some pace as well. A few weeks ago when we called this Mount Albert game against Te Ata 2, his ball playing, one thing in particular that really stood out. JP having a really good season back at this level. Of course, he played some footy with the Junior Warriors as well, so he has played at that high level. Counties Manukau Stingray as well. Well, this year it will be an Akarana Falcon, I guess, with playing for Mount Albert. So we wait to see how that goes at the end of the year. But a former Mangere East boy as well, Joseph Price. He started his Fox career with Mangere East before moving through into the Junior Warriors and now playing for Mount Albert.
It might be confused if we go for a state of origin then. Will we be an Akarana or a County Stingray?
Don't even get me started on state of origin eligibility, Troy.
Good run onto the ball there. Villiers attracting 2 or 3 defenders.
Dion Snell leading the way on the tackle. Come out towards this left edge. Machu on the ball.
Oh.
Ball comes out there. Four it is that spilt it.
Untidy. And he knows it too. He'll make up for it though. He'll be having the chat. A couple of the boys giving him a high five saying, forget it, put it behind you. Let's focus on what we do now. So as they start to form the scrum, just a big shout out to our major sponsor, SAS Sporting Apparel, a key sponsor of the SAS Fox, and also Crown Lift Trucks, who look after Sharman Cup. Not happy with the feed, and the finger of reason has come up by the referee, and he's giving them a little bit of a chat.
So back underway now. Mount Albert feed it out towards the left.
Bit of a wrestle there, yeah.
Yeah, and Brown just guilty of stealing a couple of metres there, Troy, so they go back to play the ball on the 40. Wallace feeds it out to Taulu.
Good yards.
Another Mount Albert player that has really stood out this year. Of course, Mount Albert, they had a late changing switch with Willie Swan stepping down, and Cody Walker and Phil Gordon stepping up to take control of a Fox Memorial Premiership team for the first time. A big shout out to Cody and Phil, a couple of the Kelston connection in this team. As we see a nice little dart over there, I think from Miski.
He might have burgled one there on the left-hand side of the SAS upright.
So he goes right over next to the post, and Mount Albert with the chance to double their lead now. Just a little cheeky run out of dummy half. So it's Mount Albert 10, Mangere East 0 with kick to come. But just a heads-up play there out of the ruck and gets the job done. So Mangere East really with no one to blame but themselves, Troy. Just too many errors, you know, multiple drops coming out of yardage, a couple of penalties have put themselves under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, penalties I think will certainly take the toll. And, you know, that won't be part of the referee's plan. Sorry, the coach's plan. Let's hope it's not part of the referee's plan. And I dare say the boys will be having another chat down there as we are at the home of the Hawks. And looks like they're nesting up over there now, and they'll be having a whopper of a chat as the trainer there will be talking about, you know, they're going to have to cut back on the errors and the penalties that you've alluded to, Corey.
And a good crowd already out here today at Walter Massey Park, a huge crowd for the reserves game earlier.
Yep.
So good to see rugby league alive and well here, and it is one of the biggest rugby league clubs in New Zealand, the Mangere East Club. A big shout out to all the people who make things tick. Huge job every week to make rugby league work, as Mark Graham adds the extras there.
And just as you talked about the crowd, I've just seen a special guest out there, sideline, high performance coaching director from the NZRL, Brent Gemmell, and we might be able to get a wee bit of a quick word to him at the half-time break just to get his views on grassroots football here at the Auckland Rugby League. So this is a bit of Groundhog Day moment as the Burger King Mangere East Hawks come back for another kickoff and have gone deep this time, deep and high.
And all you get for that is Passini running it off the back fence, and Mangere East doing a pretty good job there to hold his momentum nice and early. So they need a good set here, the Hawks. Tua with a good carry, good leg drive there after the initial contact.
They're jamming on that right side. They need to spread here to the left. That's where all the traffic is.
So Miski into dummy half. Feeds it out towards the right. Price with hands on the ball. Snell.
It's all wide, mate.
Back inside here. Sita now on the ball. Heads back in. With some good signs there from Mount Albert. Getting Joseph Price involved in the attack. Snell again on the ball. Takes it up over halfway. So a good set here from the Mount Albert Lions. Miski into dummy half, comes out the back to Dunn. Dunn kicks back across the body. It's an easy one for two, who's got a little bit of room to work with it now and spreads it out to the right, and there is a little bit of space here on offer for the Hawks.
Great counter. He's got to get fast and play the ball.
Toi Pelotu on the break and does get a nice quick play of the ball. Brown now takes it forward. Two out of dummy half, and they know they've got Mount Albert a little bit on the back foot here.
Bit
See
of
what they
slippery
can
there
do with
too,
it.
you know. Good settling run there.
Good carry forward there by Lovemite. And they get the penalty at the end of it. So here we go, a chance now for Mangere East to turn things around a little bit. It's been a tough start to the game for them. While they had the first couple of uses of the ball, they've since committed a whole lot of errors, given away 3 or 4 penalties, and in bad parts of the field as well. So a chance now for the Hawks to somewhat turn things around a little bit in round 13 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Again, a big shout out to all of our sponsors who bring you the Fox every week.
Good pick and go.
So plenty of numbers to the left here, the Hawks, but instead they dart to the right.
Good offload, he's put it out the back.
And we are going to have a try here, I think. Referee having a quick talk, and it is going to be a try, so there you go. Blink and you miss it. As we look down to have a look at the team sheet, there is a try scored, so a good reply there for the Mangere East Hawks. Luckily, my co-commentator is up to it, Troy.
Yeah, and when he turns up, I'll introduce you to him. However, everyone's stuck with Troy, and it's always good fun to be here with Corey as we call the games courtesy of the Auckland Rugby League, especially with the live stream. And as we've alluded to, and I keep saying alluded, and I'll probably say that maybe another 5 times
Word
today.
of the day. Word of the day.
Word of the day. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we're live streaming a Women in Leagues action. That's going to be coming from Cornwall Park. We're starting at 11 in the morning. We've got some special guests joining us there. One of them you may have seen on the Facebook shout out at the beginning of the week with our critical breaking news report, which Corey loves, where young Georgia Hale spoke about the importance of the W against the Mangere Wahinis, and they'll be looking to perform very, very strong tomorrow to get those 2 points, as the other big club, the other big team in that competition is the Papakura Sea Eagles.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to having the ladies join us for the commentary. It's going to be good to get that expert analysis, I guess, and 2 members of the Kiwi Ferns squad as well.
Yep.
2 of the best players, certainly, in the Auckland competition. So it's going to be
Maddie's joining us as well, mate. I think she's out at the moment with injury, and we'll have the two young ladies there starting, as I said, tomorrow from 11 o'clock on.
As Brown attempts the conversion from out wide, just pushes it to the right, so the score remains Mount Albert Lions 12. Mangere East Hawks 4, and it's going to be a timely, I guess, look at the women's game with the World Cup coming up at the end of the year. And the Kiwi Ferns will be taking on the likes of the Jillaroos and, of course, England's rugby league team as well, who have really come on in the last few years. They're putting a lot of resources into the game over there as well. So the Women's World Cup Strikes has been a really good one, and well, it's one that we're in with a real good chance of winning. So, of course, Australia won it for the first time back in 2013, and now the Kiwi Ferns' chance at redemption as we get back underway here at Walter Massey Park.
Go the Kiwi Ferns, and go all the girls who come out of the Auckland Rugby League competition. I know you do us proud.
Turkey beats the initial one. Gets to the quick play of the ball as well. V shifts it to the left. Sita involved in the tackle there, and it's a good tackle, dominant tackle. Yeah. Slow that play of the ball down here in Mount Albert.
Got him, eh? Good wrestle there, slowed the ruck speed down. Good strong run again. Was that Billy, number 10? He's a big unit, isn't he?
He is indeed a big unit. And plenty of involvement early on in this one now as Brown tests the line, takes it up towards halfway. A couple of fresh legs on the park for Mount Albert as well, notably Paulos Latu. Plus another one of the players in this team that's played at those higher levels with the Warriors New South Wales Cup squad, as well as Graham takes a good tricky bouncing ball there at the back. Wears a bit of a shot as well. So Mount Albert now back on the ball for the first time in a few minutes, and a good chance here to sort of temper this Mangere East enthusiastic comeback now as Snell brings it out. Another big first up contact there, led by V.
Is that Corey Sito, number 4, here for the Hawks?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Corey
well, he's
Seaton.
got the best haircut on the ground, hands down.
There you go, Corey. If you do watch on the replay, a co-colleague has called it. Big fan of your haircut. Big fan of your play on the field as well. You've
To be fair, big fan of hair.
Oh, that's right. You always
Good
want
deep
what you
kick.
don't have.
Good hands.
So 2 now, returning the kick at the back. We're finished talking about haircuts and we're back to the footy. So Mangere East here starting this set
Got out of that, great run.
in good field position, and that is a really nice run there from Morgan Salisi. Chaz Brown arrives late to bring him down. So the Hawks showing plenty in the last couple of minutes. Starting to really wrestle their way back into this one now. Tui Pelotu with a carry. Up over the 40. So here come the Hawks. V out of dummy half. It's a bit of a sloppy one. Thankfully picked up by Ari, I think it is. Brown now on the ball, finds Machu half to half.
Great ball.
Purcell out onto the left edge. They've got a little bit of space here. Purcell with some footwork. Tucks back inside, eventually taken down. The ball has spilled loose, so our 4, and attempting to pick it up, has spilt it. So yet another error there for the Hawks, just as they were starting to build a little bit of pressure, Troy.
Yeah.
We can see Matt Pilmer up on his feet. He will not be happy with this. He wanted a positive start. It hasn't been a bad start, but just the errors, you know, you wonder what Mangere East could have done if they'd been a little tidier in these opening exchanges.
Absolutely, and I think a couple of them were gifted. They helped get some metres down the field, which put the Lions into strike. And once they got that opportunity, they didn't muck around and they put points on the board. So the ball's fed into the scrum. It's out now. And it's gone to ground.
And
The referee's gone.
Yeah, Chaz Brown with the spill there. So both teams certainly giving each other plenty of opportunity and good ball. And calls of use it coming out from Mangere East, and I dare say that's a pretty intelligent call at this stage. Make the most of this field position. It's pretty hard to get there.
Absolutely. They seem to be stacking the right side again. Mangere have got it covered. They're counting off man on man. Ball's getting ready to be fed, and away we go.
Machu feeds the scrum, comes out to Brown, who double pumps. Heads back inside. Good read there from Jordan Tua. 2 on the ball. Jinx back inside now, finds Machu. There's a little bit of space out here on the left. Marlon Purcell on the ball. And execution just a little bit off there. They had the space.
Yeah, they just put each other outside on pressure, and you can't be doing that against a class act with Mount Albert. And they've managed to tidy up. Referees pulled it back.
And one of the things you do notice about Mount Albert, Troy, is they're very proficient on the edges, particularly in attack. They've got a good relationship, plenty of talk, and it shows in defence as well. I think their sliding defence been pretty good for most of the season, and by all accounts pretty well organised out there.
Absolutely. And that's gone untidy as they've twisted in the scrum.
Well, another error. We've had more errors than play the balls in the last 2 minutes, but...
And of course guest appearance by Dog, who was playing in the fullback position.
That's right.
So great crowd down here. The weather's fabulous. The ground is firm. If you're in town, come and join us. If you can't make it, please share and comment on the Facebook page or come to the aucklandleague.co.nz website and share from there. Great hit.
Ulu Pau there, winding up for a big carry, but chopped down. Price now on the carry, and Mangere East now bringing some real energy in defence, some good line speed there.
A couple of big boys met him at the drive-through and said no entry. Bang.
A bit like you this morning, Troy, when you tried to buy mochaccino at the local Macca's, I hear.
Yeah, you can only get those at Burger King.
That's right. So the chase down the back, it's eventually scooped up well by Whanua. And now Mangere East doing their best to bring it out of yardage. A big tackle there. Led by Fraser, who's onto the field. So the captain is back on the field, Marcus Fraser. Of course, some experienced player. He's played for Akarana as well.
Yeah, he's well structured around the ruck, and I think you might see their attack just change a little bit in regards to being on point.
Press legs on the park as well for
Offside.
Mangere East, Reginald Samuela,
I know he's
and
called it high.
earns the penalty there. And so good early impact there from Samuelu, the 19-year-old. He's a Mangere East junior.
Big thanks to the referees today and our linesmen. If you're looking to be a referee, join the Auckland Referees Association. You can get to them through the Auckland Rugby League website. That's aucklandleague.co.nz.
And I hear our referee for the reserve game, Troy, a referee who comes up from Rotorua every weekend to referee, which is just incredible dedication there as
Passion,
we see.
passion, mate.
Back to the field here, and again they're testing out that left edge. But yeah, big shout out to our referees who give their Saturdays and Sundays every weekend to make the game happen. Big thank you to you guys, you do a tremendous job. And by all accounts, the Auckland Referees Association, they have plenty of fun at their get-togethers as well, and really good camaraderie and a great way to stay involved in the game. As V shifts the ball out towards the right, Brown now dummies to Bomb and puts an ill-advised sort of kick down the middle of the park. It's lucky it's Joseph Price, and no offence Joseph, but someone a little faster may have broken the line there. But JP on hand to scoop it up and defuse the situation anyway.
I don't think he could have passed that any better. So the referee's blown it up again, and probably not the thing to be happening when you're under a bit of pressure. And Mount Albert Lions starting to march down the field again as they start to get into formation. Here comes the big first hard runner.
Little Pal. He's had a couple of good carries since coming onto the field. Fraser now into that dummy half roll. Tua beats the first one, puts on a little step, keeps going. Good player, this boy, of course, played for the Auckland Vulcans in the New South Wales Cup.
Great run. Back
in 2013. Now as Fraser comes out of dummy half, and there's that energy off the bench. Great run there from the captain, Taulu, now into dummy half. Spreads out towards the left. Wallace turns Ulupau back on the inside. They're close now, Mount Albert. Fraser to the right. Price picks it up. Dummy steps back in. Good work here from Mount Albert, but so far Mangere East up to task. Price perhaps appealing for a penalty there as Fraser shifts the ball out. And a little fumble there from Henry Dunn. It kills it off.
And the crowd let him know.
So well done to the Hawks there. Showed plenty in defence to get up in the face and force the error in the end.
So they've got to contain it for 6. They've got to execute their sets. Show by. He wasn't even looking when the ball got played.
Sita now initially in a one-on-one tackle, takes him to the ground, helped out a little by Mark Graham. Purcell getting involved again. And Troy, I just noticed before young Marlon come over and have a little bit of a chat to us, I think wondering if we got his little sidestep in the camera shot there. So Marlon, if you're watching on the replay, mate, we've got all your action so far, and you're having a pretty good start to this game here in round 13 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Up over halfway now go the Hawks, so they're showing plenty on the ball, the Hawks. It's just the errors that are holding them back at this stage. Brown now to Machu, who finds Purcell. They've got a numbers advantage here, but Sita does well to recover. Purcell gets the offload away. Afoa, basketball pass up over the top. It's gone to no one. The ball is loose. And two eventually scoops it up and is ragdolled by Ulupau.
Just as that play started going off in the background there was a Mount Albert player down. I think he might be looking for a bit of assistance. He's gone to the sideline. They're checking him out now. Mount Albert to play the ball. Here they come on the first settle. And the referee's going to blow that up as well. Now he's going to have a chat. Just a little bit scrappy. There's young Junior. They call him Junior. He's been involved in the game for some time now, the trainer for the Mount Albert Lions, and wealth of knowledge, that man. And he's been to a few finals, and he'll be giving them instructions in regards to what they need to achieve with the, what have we got on there, Corey, 10 minutes or so to the half?
Yeah, we're about into the last 10 minutes because our clock won't be perfectly in line with the match clock.
It's gone quite fast,
well,
hasn't it, mate?
Close to it. It has, and surprising given we've had a lot of stoppages with the high error rate, but has gone pretty quick here. And at this stage, you would say Mount Albert certainly fairly well in control, but Mangere East, if they can limit those errors. I think they've got plenty in them. Certainly coming out of
absolutely.
yardage, they're making pretty good ground through the middle of the park. So interesting to see what they can do after a stern talking to at half-time, as we see another good carry there. I think that one by Tui Pelotu up the middle of the field and gets the penalty at the end of it as well. And Chaz Brown, he's given away a couple of penalties in a row now. Should put his team under a little bit of pressure. So Machu kicks for touch, and there's a little bit of urgency now about what Mangere East are doing. But don't be surprised at all if they visit this left edge again. We've seen it's their favourite spot to attack through the likes of Purcell and Whenua out here on the left flank. And Machu playing down that corridor as well, along with Junior Afoa in the back row. V comes into the middle of the park where David Fatiti.
They really want to put them under pressure here.
And they're lining up for carries now, are the Hawks. This one from Ari.
They've got a good spread, they just need to execute.
Machu on the ball. Machu a big looping pass out the back. Purcell now a chance to put a little bit of footwork on. Heads back inside. He's very close to the line now. 2 into dummy half. Everyone pointing towards the middle of the park. Machu on the ball. Half to half. Brown now puts a little bit of footwork on, but all he finds is yellow shirts in front of him. Dion Snell leading the way on the tackle. Just short of the line now. V with a little dart out of dummy half. Good up top contact there, led by Paulos Latu.
Referee's called knock on there.
Yeah, and there is a knock on in there, so well done to the Mount Albert Lions surviving that one, and now a little bit of a rush to get things back underway. They know that Mangere East are a little bit slow getting back here.
Well, let's hope the Burger King Hawks take some confidence from that. They've got to be strong on their defence now and try and contain them down here and not let them get, you know, the Lions up the field, let them out of their half.
So Fraser now brings Snell onto the ball, and he's been good in this first half. Has Dion Snell, Auckland Rugby League Player of the Year back in 2014, Counties Manukau representative, also an Akarana Falcon, and that's a huge hit. Forces the error from Ulu Pau.
Yeah, that was a whopper.
I think he's still trying to figure out what's going on. Purcell ends up with the ball out wide, and they need to be patient here, the Mangere East Hawks. While the second phase has been good, almost gave away possession there with an ill-timed offload, so just need to slow things down a little bit, find their composure. And that starts with the halves and Brown and Machu. Paquito shifts play on. Brings Samuelu into the game. Out towards the right, Ari with a carry.
Good offload.
Good offload after wearing a shot up top from Dion Snell. Of course, the Hawks sitting near the bottom of the ladder right now. Every game is important for them in terms of staying away from relegation troubles. Afoa comes back in on the inside. Afoa gets the offload away. Good run there from the back rower, but the ball is spilt, and Mangere East yet again left to rue. Poor ball control, poor discipline in the attacking 20. And they compound it with an offside as well.
Yeah.
And poor old Matt Pilmer pacing up and down the sidelines. I dare say he'll have plenty to say to his team at half-time.
Need to get back into the D, the Hawks. You know, some of the body language there is just starting to drop a little. Then you get the energy back up, as you do in these situations. And they tried to go for a quick, he let him play on with a quick tap and go, and then faked it and went again.
It's still going as Brown. It was a cheeky little play from him. Dummied the tap, tried to get them to encroach on the 10, and then tapped it again, and off he went. So Ulu Pau now takes it forward. Fraser brings Ropati onto the ball. A little bit of footwork before the line. Good carry there from Rory. Fraser shifts the ball out towards the left. Wallace finds Tua. Tua still going. Already got one try down that corridor today. This time held up. So we'll go back to the 10 to restart play. We've got about 2 minutes remaining in this SAS Fox Memorial Premiership clash in the first half. If you are just joining us, a big welcome. We've got the Mount Albert Lions holding a 12-4 lead over the Mangere East Hawks now, and the Lions on the attack. They spread out towards the right. Paulos Latu fends off one, fends off two, still going Latu, but bundled into touch. So well done to Mangere East there, scrambling well. And I think it was Sioseta Whenua who came up with the big play at the end there to get Latu into touch. So the Hawks showing plenty to like on both sides of the ball, but you know we're harping on a little bit about it, but it's just the discipline, the only thing that's letting them down currently. Right in this one, after copying a pretty heavy defeat at the hands of Point Chev last week, 56 points to 18. So a vastly improved effort already from the Mangere East Hawks as Machu feeds the ball. And they'll work it out now. Could be the last set of the game at this stage.
You can't help but think if they're a little bit more disciplined on the ball and completing their sets, the score might have a different feel to it.
And we've got a little strip in there, I think, from Ropati. Mangere East keen to get things underway. They know there's only about a minute remaining in this first half here at Walter Massey Park. We do trust you're enjoying the live stream today. Remember to join us tomorrow when we do the Women in League round at Cornwall Park. We're bringing you 3 games live streamed free around the world. Under 17s game between Richmond and Otara before we go to Point Chev versus Manukau in the pennant women's competition, and then the big one, Richmond versus Mangere. It should be an excellent clash. A number of Kiwi ferns between those two sides. Some of the best players in the New Zealand game right now. So really looking forward to that one now as Mangere East come out towards the right. Purcell takes a hit from Graham, finds 2 back on the inside. So we're entering the final seconds of this half. Our 4 now into dummy half. Finds Machu. A little bit stagnant as it is. The Mangere East Hawks looking a little bit tired. They have had to do a fair bit of defensive work in this game. Brown shows, goes, dribbles a little kick through.
Better kick.
And it's going to hold up. And Mount Albert in the end, I think, have to ground it and go back for a restart. But we're probably not going to get time, so that's probably going to end the first half action here at Walter Massey Park.
Then again, it may not, and we need to calculate in dog time. There was dog time off, Corey.
This is very true. Unfortunately, our clock doesn't have a function for that, I don't think. We will talk to our technical guys and see if we can get that introduced next week. So
start a play.
We are going to have time, and as the siren goes in the background, so it's 1 play or nothing here for the Mangere East Hawks. Brown,
drop
not too
goal.
sure what to do.
I went drop goal. He had the same thought. That's what I would have done too. But the execution was left.
A little off.
Let's leave
it at that. And at 12 points to 4, I'm not too sure exactly what the value would have been in the drop goal, but hey.
Hey, a point's a point.
Every point counts. So that will do us for the first half here in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership with the Russell Gordon Contractors Mount Albert Lions leading the Burger King Mangere East Hawks 12 points to 4. We are now going to take you to an update from the Auckland Rugby League and have a look at what's been going on around the ground. So stay with us for the second half.
Just as you can hear the ground announcement before the weekly report comes up, it'll be with you shortly. The Mount Albert Lions are into team chat at the moment, and they'll be one to do this.
Hello everyone, welcome to the ARL Halftime Report. My name is Tali Anderson. We have a lot happening this weekend with our Women in League Day tomorrow at Cornwall Park, and we're just going to hear a little bit about it from our General Manager, Greg Fireford.
This Sunday, our Women in League Day. It's going to be a fantastic day of rugby league. We are under 15s.
Halftime Report. My name is Tali Anderson. We have a lot happening this weekend with our Women in League Day tomorrow at Cornwall Park, and we're just going to hear a little bit about it from our General Manager, Greg Fireford.
This Sunday, our Women in League Day. It's going to be a fantastic day of rugby league. We are under 15s, our under 17s, and our women's teams will be all on show for you. So get your kids, get your husbands, get your wives, get down there and enjoy a great day of rugby league. And if you can't, go to aucklandleague.co.nz where we're live streaming these games just for you this Sunday get on down there.
We're getting closer to the end of the season and we're looking forward to our grand finals this year. So of course we're going to celebrate with our ARL Awards dinner. It's going to be a fabulous night and we'll hear more about it from Murray Harper.
Hello everybody, I'm Mangere Harper from the Auckland Rugby League. I want to talk to you about the annual awards evening which we're holding on Thursday, 31st of August in the Tasman Room at Alexandra Park. We're starting at approximately 6 o'clock with a half-hour happy hour and then straight into the evening. Gordon Gibbons, one of our directors, will be the MC for the evening. We have a special guest, great food, beautiful buffet dinner, awards. We'll be recognising all the volunteers, the players, some admin. A Club of the Year award will be given out. $700 for a table of 10. Please come along. It's the clubs that make it happen. Thank you.
With all sports, we have a lot of volunteers who help us out, and of course we have to give thanks to our sponsors. We're going to hear now from our Special Projects Manager, Selwyn Pearson, who'll talk more about that.
Hi, Selwyn here from the ARL TV. As we head towards the playoffs, which we know every team does whatever it can to strive to make those playoffs, it would be very remiss of me if we didn't mention the sponsors that go quite some way to making all of this possible. Of course, we've got SAS who sponsor the Fox Memorial, and of course College Sport, and we've got Crown of Trucks who support the Sharman Cup. A huge reason for them supporting us and the game is because of the wonderful work that you as clubs and your volunteers do, primarily for our kids and our youth. It's very, very obvious for children and youth, for them to be able to participate in a team sport, not just rugby league, but all team sports. And remember, all these sports help us look after the kids. So it's not just about rugby league, it's all sports. But for those children and youth to be able to play those sports, they've got to adapt to the rules. It's very important that they follow the rules. Now, what enables those children and youth to follow the rules? They've got to have disciplines. Now, if they haven't got those disciplines, they need to develop them very quickly, and to enable them to follow those rules. And the real dream for me and the Auckland Rugby League is those children take those disciplines from childhood to youthhood to adulthood. And of course the spin-off then is that those adults then contribute to the community in a positive manner. It doesn't get any better than that, does it?
We've got new personnel in our ARL Football Development Department. Sam joined us now, who's been here for about a month, and he'll tell us a little bit about what's been going on his end.
Hey, good morning. My name's Sam Caudron. I work for the Auckland Rugby League. I've just come over from Australia a month ago, and I'm in the Coaching and Development Department. I'm just here quickly to talk to you today about our holiday clinic coming up at the Ellerslie Eagles. That's on the 18th of July, which is a Tuesday. We've got already 50 kids registered, so it's all sold out, unfortunately. But we're really looking forward to providing a rugby league fun-based skill session and day for those kids that are registered. And also just want to do a big thank you to Pack and Save Sylvia Park, who have come on board to help us sponsor the event and help us out with the food for the kids for the day. Lastly, just want to mention we've got an after-school program coming up in term 2, something that we're looking to roll out in the future for schools, which is based around rugby league and fun also. So lots of things happening, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. Cheers.
Thanks for watching our live stream game today, Mangere East vs Mount Albert. Remember, you can catch more live streaming tomorrow at our Women in League Day 3 games live online at aucklandleague.co.nz. My name is Tale. Enjoy the rest of the game and see you tomorrow.
Means and the one that's happening in October, November, December this year. So that's keeping us very, very busy.
In regards to the women's, the Ferns, touching on them, we've got the big live league action on tomorrow. Are you coming out to see the main game?
Yeah, actually, looking forward to it. You got Richmond playing, Mangere were there.
Yep.
Two of the top teams in the Women's League in Auckland, so it should be an excellent game. I believe you got some 15s and 17-year-olds running around as well, which is awesome to see the growth in the female game in Auckland. There's a lot of anticipation around the World Cup with the ladies as well, so we're looking forward to a big day tomorrow.
Awesome, mate. And just on the women in league side of things, you got a new coach there, mate. Tell us a bit about Tony Benson.
Yeah, so Tony came in, took over the girls just in April. He's come in for the Anzac campaign through the end of World Cup, and Tony's got a long history in Auckland League, and he's just come home from 10 years overseas where he's coached professionally for a number of different sides. So a lot of experience. We've put Mike Linton out of Canterbury, who's the assistant coach, who's run that Canterbury girls team for quite a few years now. So good experienced couple with some excellent talent there. So we're looking for some big things out of Kiwi Ferns going to the World Cup.
Awesome, mate. Well, look, on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, we're pleased that we can supply some of the talent, especially out of the competition that we have. And as you said, there's going to be a big clash tomorrow. Looking for some big hits, and if you're wanting to, for any of the rugby league fans who want to enjoy some seriously good football as far as women in league is concerned, get down to Cornwall Park. If you can't make it, see the live stream